AI has changed the marketing game and most people haven't noticed. Ads that used to print money, flat. Cold outreach, getting completely ignored. And engagement across all kinds of platforms is dead. Because most people, they're still playing by 2020's rules. And if you're doing that, you are probably losing. So let me show you what's changed and a simple system that works in 2025 to help you scale your business. For years, we've been trained to believe that just simply doing more is better. Do more ads, do more outreach, do more content, increase the volume, and the revenue will follow. And it used to work. We were in an attention economy. Whoever could shout the loudest would win. The people who had the resources to run all of the ads, do all of the content, do all of the outreach at scale generally were better at what they did because they were getting money in so that they could invest it into that, so that they could afford all of this, and they would be seen everywhere, shout the loudest, and that was enough to get people in. The problem today is that everybody has AI. For $20 a month, you can match all of those people in terms of the output. Everybody can also sound like an expert. AI will fill in those gaps in your knowledge. And everybody has these flashy funnels and clever headlines and hooks, which means that what used to help you stand out no longer does because everybody's doing it. That attention economy is now dead. Your prospects are more skeptical about everything that they see. They engage less with all of that stuff out there, and it's way harder to convert. I mean, you've probably seen this across all of the different platforms that you use. LinkedIn, for instance, I used to share a post and I'd get 20 to 40,000 impressions. Now I'm getting 2 to 400. Cold outreach emails are nowhere near as effective as they used to be. Any kind of views are just not there anymore because all of these platforms are having to throttle everything because they don't know what's AI and what's genuine, and AI content doesn't really offer any value to anybody. Nowadays, it's like a fishing lake. Before, only skilled fishermen could fish it. Those who'd earned the right through real experience and knew how to, set up all of their kit, bait their hook, cast off, reel in, land the fish, right? Anybody could do this. And so even these fish up here that were ready to buy, and they were at that point where they're actively looking for a solution, they would see that hook and they'd think, perfect, let's go for that. But now everybody's doing it. AI is not just giving people the ability to fish, they're fishing with dynamite. And the fact is, what's happened is all of these easy to capture fish, gone. The only ones that are available still are the ones that are way more skeptical and are at the bottom of the lake down here. They're hiding deep, ignoring everybody who has that flashy rod, zero track record, those lovely hooks that used to get anybody in. They don't work anymore because everybody has them. Shouting louder doesn't work because the audience of people who are ready to buy and looking for a solution has been overfished. The fact is, the audience of people who are ready to buy, the automatic buyers, the people who are looking for a solution and will throw money down right now today, it's been depleted at best, destroyed at worst, because they have been overfished by everybody out there who's got AI and thinks that they're now some amazing service provider or course creator. What we're left with is that we have to go deeper. We have to try and get these guys down at the bottom. These guys are hiding deep. They're ignoring everyone with a bit of flash, a nice hook, all of this. They're ignoring it all. So then the question becomes, how do you focus on these people who have dived deep to escape all of the flashy nonsense? How do you bring them up when all of the easy targets have been removed from the pool? It's quite simple. Trust. We've entered a trust economy from an attention economy. The only way to win today is to build familiarity and credibility through repeat exposure and context. Not once, but over time. Back in the day, I would have a VA collect the email addresses of 1 to 200 of my ideal clients every single month. I would then send each of those people up to 3 emails to get on a call with me to see if I could work with them, right? From every 100 people that I emailed, I got between 2 and 4 clients every single month without fail, no problems. I recently spoke to somebody who does cold outreach and they're sending 1,000 emails to get around 9 booked calls. That's not closed deals, that's 9 calls, right? So if they close half of those, they got 4.5 people. That's a 10 times worse return than I was getting doing it manually 6-7 years ago. Attention's not enough anymore. Trust is the way, because these old models just don't work. What happened is that everybody had these really simple funnels that they would move people through. They would have a mechanism to attract, let's just call this cold emails, as we were talking about. And they would say, hey, I've got this free thing over here. Here's the asset. It's a bit of information. It's not even really going to help them. All that you're trying to do is open that dialogue. Here's some free information. Do you want this for your business? And they would say, yeah, like I said, back in the day, I would reach out to 100 people, 20 would say yes to the asset, and then I would ask them the sales mechanism. Hey, do you want to jump on a call to discuss this? 10 of them would say yes. 4 of them would say yes to my high ticket offer. So I had like a 4% conversion rate from a cold email through to somebody actually paying me. This doesn't work anymore. Because of this overuse of AI and the just general noise out there, a single touch point like this isn't enough. I mean, ask yourself, when's the last time that you received cold outreach, or the first time that you saw an ad for somebody's high ticket offer and you immediately went, yeah, do you know what? I'll pay this guy. It just doesn't happen anymore. And yet people are still relying on those old models that simply do not work. You need to change it, because this is a dying model that if you continue to use it will ruin your business in the next 6 to 12 months. So the question then is, how do you adapt? And it's reasonably simple. The concept that you need to build into your funnel is something called forced familiarity. So the best explanation I've ever heard of forced familiarity is actually from a dating book called The Game by a guy called Neil Strauss that was published like mid-2000s. Please withhold your scorn and your judgment for me talking about a dating book. And really, this isn't really a nice dating book. This is from pickup artists whose sole goal is to meet somebody on a night out and convince them to sleep with them on that night, right? But essentially what these guys did was they figured out that it's a huge jump to go from meeting somebody in a bar to sleeping with them within, 5-6 hours, right? If all that you do is you have one date and you're in one location for that time period, it's a very, very difficult sell. And that's the same kind of thing that most people run in with these kind of funnels, right? It's, hey, you don't know me, let's jump on a call and I'll sell you this thing. It doesn't work anymore. So this forced familiarity that they would do is they would break up one long date into multiple short experiences across multiple locations, all within the same time frame. You might go out for dinner for a day and, drinks in one place, and it might be, 4 or 5 hours. They would take that 4 or 5 hours and they would go, hey, let's meet up in this bar. Oh, look, let's go grab some quick street food. Oh, look, let's go to a club. But in the same time period, they've hit 3 different places, right? And because then that person has 3 to 4 different immediate memories of them having a good time with this person, it feels like they're a more familiar, trustworthy person. It is forced familiarity. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and do this on your dates, not that at all, but it is an interesting concept that also works perfectly with modern marketing. Your buyers essentially need the same thing, right? You have been doing this kind of method for so long, like cold DMs to an asset. Here's my PDF, here's my book, here's my ad to a webinar, whatever that might be. That's not going to cut it anymore. Locking that person down into a single touch point and hoping that that will do all of the heavy lifting to get them to take this risk with you is simply not enough. So you need a sequence, right? You need to take, say, that long form webinar and cut it up into little segments and drip feed that to those people. One could be a quick video that explains the problem, a follow-up email that shows the solution, a behind-the-scenes demo or proof loop that shows that it's worked for other people, multiple touch points across different channels to get that person to feel like they are more comfortable with you, they're more familiar with you, and that they can trust you, because familiarity breeds trust, and we are in the trust economy. It's not about more time spent with the person, it's about more intentional touches that create that comfort, trust, and connection. That's how you win in this new economy. So if that were to be mapped out very simply, it would look something like this. You would take that one asset that you have, the book, whatever, and turn it into multiple touch points. And these could be blog posts, videos, social posts, whatever, it doesn't matter. But multiple little nuggets of wisdom that are put out across multiple different touch points, right? Now, you might be sitting there thinking, this sounds very hard. And if you rely on algorithms, so if you're doing like LinkedIn, organic marketing, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, then yeah, it's very hard because there's no guarantee with that algorithm someone will see all of your content. The solution? Ads, right? Retargeting ads. That can get expensive quickly though. Cold outreach, you can kind of drip feed these to people who are your target market, but you're quickly going to get marked as spam because it's very difficult now, thanks to people abusing AI, to get into people's inboxes through a cold channel. So what's the answer? It's a micro commitment. I use a $1 product here, right? And why a $1 product? The $1 filters out the complete time wasters. There are a lot of people who just collect information. But by charging people a single dollar to get access to this, it gives intent, right? It's signaling that intent that they are serious about solving their problem. More importantly, it gives me permission to follow up with them directly through my email list which is the trust builder. And from that email list trust builder, I can then set up multiple touch points again, where this is a video, this is a post, this is just an email, and then all of this leads through to the sales mechanism, which goes through to your high ticket offer. Okay. Essentially, what used to be a one and done funnel, very direct, we're going to direct people to this big asset to try and get them to buy, doesn't work anymore. You need to take that stuff, put that on the front end and give all of that away for free, right? No, not gated anything. Use it in social posts, use it in your emails, use it on the channel that you use to get in front of your ideal customers. Have all of that direct to a $1 product. That $1 product should be a solution, not information. It should help them solve a small problem for a very, very small fee. That's a micro commitment. It signals high intent, gives you permission to then build trust through your trust builder. And that goes through to the sales mechanism. With this model, yes, you still have some difficulty here in getting the right people to see the right thing at the right time. But once they go through to that $1 product, you can control that relationship and you can nurture them towards the high ticket offer. What this model does is it means that you're no longer relying on viral hits, Hail Mary webinar type things. You're building repeatable, scalable trust and turning $1 buyers into high ticket clients by addressing all of the hesitations and issues that they have. Trust first, profit focused, and designed for how things are changing in this new landscape where freebie seekers don't convert. People will not go from $0 to $1,000 overnight. You need to build that system. Now, if that sounds something like you want to build, I've made my very own low ticket product, which shows you how to set up this $1 product here, which not only shows you how to attract customers for between $1 and $500, meaning that you can actually run ads and control all of this as well, but it shows you how to promote it and actually get people in very, very quickly. It shows you how to turn that tiny front end offer into a list of ready to buy customers that you can then build trust with, so that your high ticket offer is the natural progression to that next step. If you want to check it out, check the link below the video. But essentially, if your marketing's been falling flat lately, it's probably not your content or your niche or your offer. It's the strategy. The market has changed. Attention is on the way out. We're really focusing now on building trust. If you're ready to change with it, check out more stuff that I'm doing, more videos, but also check out the $1 product challenge, because that is what's going to help you bring people in to your ecosystem who are high intent. They will give you permission to market to them, and then you can build trust to sell them your high ticket offers. We've seen people who use this get between 12 and 56 times more sales than the common methods of cold traffic to an asset to, hey, buy this big thing. This is the way that you should be running your marketing moving forwards. And if you're not, you're going to get left behind. Check it out below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know.